who we are.
Oh my gosh. Hi guys. Sorry I didn't have time to put up a banner, and I noticed that you said Diane Keaton died in the comments section, and I was like, oh, I got kind of sidetracked there. Welcome to Mystic Sisters. Welcome.
So the Cubs are still in it?
The Cubs are still in it. I was looking at Alexandra's comment. Tonight is the tiebreaker game, and it's in Milwaukee, so they have the advantage.
Yeah.
But both teams won both games. Giblets and I went there. We tried to remove the curse, right? I did a little video. We said, we're here. He identifies as a goat. Can we remove the curse? Because that is the curse of the Cubs. Was some man wanted to go to the game, but he had his goat and they wouldn't let him come in. So he put a hex on the Cubs, and they didn't win a World Series for like 100 years.
Yeah.
So we removed some of the curse that day.
That happened with the Red Sox. It was the curse of Babe Ruth, because they traded him to the Yankees.
Yeah. Right.
And their opening day, the first time the Red Sox played, was I believe the same day as the Titanic went down. So they had a little bad luck streak going there for a while.
Yeah. Other than that, it has been pretty, I guess status quo. There hasn't been anything that is like breaking news and out of the ordinary. ICE did stop with the tear gas and pepper bombs since they put one on a priest. You don't do that here.
Seriously.
You don't do that in Chicago.
Seriously. Especially because the Pope is from Chicago. Come on, guys.
Even worse, right?
Right.
That's like double wham. So, I mean, they're still doing stupid shit and showing up in places that, are odd, and, dragging people for just MFing them, or throwing, maybe glitter. So I'm not throwing glitter anymore, but I got this down.
Yeah, well, I think you're Sicilian. That's like a gene. That's like it's a gene that gets expressed.
That's all I need to do, right?
That's right.
And then next week is the No Kings protest.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big protest all over the place, because I think people have had it up to here.
Right.
Especially because he's sending like billions of dollars to Argentina.
Yeah.
And
so this isn't an ICE thing, right?
Here, huh?
This isn't an ICE protest. This is a No Kings. So this is all about Donnie Day.
This is all about Donnie Day.
On the 18th.
Yeah.
And they are everywhere, Vicki. They're everywhere. Here, I could walk to 3 of them. And then I would take a bus to go to downtown one. I'm waiting for the temperature to see what's going on before I get on the 36 or the 151. Hold on a second there. This way north, I'm good. But they're everywhere, and even if you don't join, I've been wearing my patch badge, No Kings, and just on my everyday, like at the Jewel.
Yeah.
Wherever.
Well, Chicago strikes me as a pretty safe place to wear a No Kings thing on the back of your shirt, right?
Yeah. I've gotten good reception. I really have. I like positive things, and it's on the back of me. I can't see it. I don't even know what I think about it. And I'm getting like a thing. I'm like, who, And I thought, oh, okay. I get it. Yeah. I don't even think about it, but that's just my baseline every day. Let's look at some. If anybody has
Yeah, WTF.
WTF questions,
Oh, that reminds me, I have to do a card, right? Let me see what
do
I
a
do.
card. I'm going to say hi to everybody.
Yeah, you say hi and I'll look for
Steph, I'm going way back.
my sisters.
Extreme Brands is at Harry Carey's on Kinsey. Keep in touch. Let us know what's going on down there. God bless. Holy crap. There's got to be just a ton of stuff. The marathon is tomorrow morning. There are people in from all over the world. Just keep it nice. Just be nice. Show how good people we are. Please. Please.
Well, I think, I think honestly, I think people who are in the know, like there's always going to be troublemakers, right? They're like, oh, there's a protest, let's fuck somebody up, right? But I think most people know, because he wants it so bad, because he wants a reason to send in the troops, that people are going to say, F you, we're going to be nice. Whereas normally maybe they wouldn't be so nice.
But can you imagine, like, the marathon is tomorrow. All these people are from everywhere. And if the Cubs win this series, this division, Wrigley's going to go crazy.
Yep.
Right? The bars are full right now.
Isn't that always true, though?
Yeah.
It's a nice thought, but isn't it always? It's like Boston. The bars are full in Boston. They're always full in Boston. It's just the way. It's just the way they go. All right, I found my list.
Saturday night. So, hi everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi Wendy. Hi Jules. Diane. So sorry about Diane Keaton. She is lovely. I really enjoyed her presence in everything she did. So sadly missed, but you know what?
Steph is going to Long Island. That's where I went to college. Like very many weekends, I would drive from Long Island to New Jersey, through Manhattan, through the South Bronx. Depended on my mood.
I see a couple of really good WTF questions. Left entertain.
Oh yeah, the Qataris. Yeah, Alexandra says, "What the fuck? An airport is being built in Idaho for the Qataris." Do you really think that those preppers are going to be okay with that, guys? I mean, they're nuts. They're nuts for thinking that those guys are going to be okay with that.
I really think it's such an outrageous story that there's a lot of cognitive stalling going on because Donnie is not doing well. And they are stalling and stalling. And the more they stall, the more ridiculous some of this stuff sounds. All of a sudden, we have a Qatar base in Idaho. You think that's going to happen? I don't think it's going to happen. Nope. I think they're full of shit.
I think if anything gets built, it'll be a ballroom, and that's it. And it might not even be. But you know what we could do with that ballroom? It could be like the Nuremberg trials. We could put the Nuremberg trials.
Oh. Yeah.
All right.
Yvonne said that she was afraid he was going to start something before No King's Day. This is the something. This is the start. He did it before the first No King's protest in California, I think, and now he's doing it again. Yeah, he wants it. He wants it temperate.
So the word on the street is Joe Rogan. It finally dawned on that meathead that Trump lied. Look what I got. Aphrodite, the mighty Aphrodite.
Okay.
Which is interesting because Venus is a big player right? She's moving into Libra next week, Tuesday, I think, the same day Pluto goes retrograde, and then she opposes Neptune. So,
Oh, great.
and then she's going to be in a grand trine with Pluto and Uranus. So, all bets are off as to what's going to happen.
So she opposing Neptune. This is all world point stuff. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. 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 The world is always powerful. Let me just see what Aphrodite says. Passion, beauty, and desire. The goddess Aphrodite bodes well for your direct experience of love, charm, and your eye for beauty. Aphrodite enhances awareness of your personal aesthetic pleasures. She heightens a desire for love, whether it's between you and your partner, or perhaps an increase in love in your heart towards yourself and everything you delight in. To be in the right space to experience the gifts of Aphrodite, it is necessary to be fully present in the moment, and you must believe that you are truly worthy of love. I'm on that boat. I'll that love boat.
I'll take a couple of those.
Yeah.
I'll put one in the fridge for later.
Okay, that's good. I put her on the altar. Aphrodite is on the altar. Aphrodite's in the house. All right.
There are a lot of people that say he has gone to the Middle East. I don't think he's there. I think that's another story too. Before we even say what's he doing there, is he even there? Because I think
he was at Walter Reed. I thought that's what he was doing.
That's what I thought too, that there was. And you know, that's a tertiary facility. So the medical center wasn't enough and he had to go to Walter Reed. You know, that's such a pile of shit. It's such a pile of shit. I don't even want to repeat it. And then off to the Middle East. I don't think so. I think the doctor's like, no, you can't go. Oh, will he be going to the Middle East and say eventually to sort of escape what potentially he has in store for him? Oh, we could look at that too. I don't think he's going to be, I don't think he's going anywhere except, 6 feet under, a hole in the ground.
Did you see Melania made a speech that her and Putin are in talks about the children from the Ukraine?
No.
Yeah, she said, I have been talking to Vladimir Putin about the children.
Really? Does she want to start like, a satellite like Jeffrey Epstein thing or what? What is her involvement with the children all of a sudden? She gives a crap?
She's actually been talking about that since he got back in. She has been. That's not new. It's been mentioned before. But I have to say, she looked beautiful. I'm sure. What do they pay on her hair? Like $100,000 a year?
I can't imagine I don't even. I'm so far removed from anything like that I.
So what was the question we were gonna?
What was the first?
Is he gonna go to the Middle East when he?
Is he even gonna go to the Middle East?
As an escape route, right? That's what.
Yeah. I mean, is he even gonna get there? I don't think he's well enough to do any of that. The Cubs game isn't on, is it? Gail said sliding into home. I don't think so. Okay.
Well, it'll be interesting if they do win because then they're going to play LA, and we have a number of people on this call from LA. So we'll see if we'll have a Donnybrook next week.
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't go anywhere. He dies before he goes anywhere. Mort.
Mort.
I got the graveyard card. I got the Four of Wands. So invitation, like a party invitation, come visit. And then they make up some excuse. This is the Five of Cups. Like, oh, some story about he's all bound up or he can't right now.
He's too busy running a country.
He's too busy trying to fit in the mausoleum. They better put an exhaust on that mausoleum when he is buried in it. Because it'll just like.
Well, now if Ivana got buried on the back 9, is he buried on the front 9 or? So I
can't imagine.
I got the moon here. I feel like it's not real. Like the moon is not really real. We have the 7 of Wands. So the people are coming at him. So he's trying to protect himself. The Ace of Cups, which can be overwhelmed, but this can also be a leaving card. The aces can do that. The Magician, manipulation.
Yep.
And the Star. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he's going.
I don't think he's going to go there to stay, or if that is some kind of dream he's having to escape some of this stuff, because he isn't going anywhere but the mausoleum.
They
better put him under the ground.
Did you hear what he said about the woman who won the Peace Prize?
No, I didn't. I just
that he helped her a lot, and that she thanked him, and that she said that a lot of what he did was was very helpful to her and all this other stuff. He said, I didn't ask her for it though. I didn't ask her for the prize.
I don't think he's even. I think everything we hear right now or see is being digitally clipped together to make sense. I don't think he's available. I think the shutdown is being stalled until they get some kind of idea on an outcome for whatever's going on with him. I really don't think he's present. I don't smell the formaldehyde. He's not there.
So let's ask about the base in Idaho. I can't imagine Canada's all that happy about that, considering it's like right next door. I'm sure they don't want the Qataris in their back. It's bad enough to have us in their backyard that they need. I saw something, I don't know where it was, but I thought it was funny. It says Canada and America is like Canada lives above like a meth lab. They live above the meth lab.
Was it Jimmy Kimmel? Did he say that Canada must feel like you're upstairs from a meth lab?
Probably Jimmy.
I think I thought it was Jimmy Kimmel. So we're asking if
the air base for the Qataris in Idaho, is that going to happen?
If it's going to happen, if it's little,
it's like really a thing.
Okay. If it's really a thing, and is it going to happen? Okay. I think they just want to spin us, but that's my,
Yeah.
Alexandra, I do associate formaldehyde with him. Yes. No, too much legal legal stuff and too much money. Judgments, 5 of Swords. I don't see it.
I get the Hierophant, and in this deck, it looks like this. It's like opening a can of worms. Right?
Yeah.
Then the Ace of Coins.
Okay.
The Knight of Swords.
Yeah.
Which is the impulsive knight.
Mm-hmm.
The Fountain deck, which is it means like this is like an extra card in this deck, so it's like opening the crack, letting the light in kind of energy. And then the Four of Swords, which is like it's not really imprisonment, but it's like being
surrender, kind of, right?
Surrender, kind of like I think what I think is going to happen is Trump's going to get a whole bunch of money from the Qataris, and just like he does with everything else, he's gonna what's that? What do you call that when
squander it?
He's going to punk them.
Yeah. I don't think that anything that is a long-term goal like that is worth investing your worry, your time, your fear, or concern over. I think that these are things that he needs to hear to have, because he ran out of coloring books, or because they need to sidestep your own thought process with another crisis. I don't take anything that's long-term seriously.
Or Hexeth's ideas.
Yes, especially that fucking drunken pig. This, I got the eight of Swords, so building this thing here is going to have a lot of legal permit. I mean, they're just sort of locked in this pattern of making you fear, I think. Money, it's not even available, but all this money that they were going to need for this judgment, it might go to some kind of court paper thing. It's another stall. 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords. No, I think it's just something for that will cause more confusion. It's a long-term goal that isn't even beginning to, you need plans. I mean, this is ridiculous that we should have to be concerned about this. It's a distraction. Exactly. We have to have one. I know, Steph, how do you really feel about Hexeth? You know how I feel. He's so greasy and so gross and so underqualified for what's. It's just embarrassing that this is even going on.
I drove through Idaho. Now I know people in Idaho.
Yeah.
They're lovely people. So I'm not talking about those people that I know in Idaho, but we were driving through Idaho. We stopped to go to the bathroom. My husband has a pretty thick Boston accent. I'm like, don't say anything. Don't talk to anybody, Michael, because they're going to know where we're from. And we got in, we peed, we got it, and we were out of there. I can't imagine guys dressed up in their white robes is going to be a big hit in Idaho. Just saying.
I think the real estate, like there's a lot of reservations in Idaho. Indigenous Peoples Day is coming up, I think Monday or Tuesday. If the thought of how you accrued this or amassed all this money was real estate, you're looking at real estate in Idaho. There's a lot of protected land in Idaho.
I'm just looking to see here what's on people's minds besides the Qataris in Idaho.
I know.
Oh my God.
And Diane Keaton and all the stuff that's going on. Really, it's not as charged as it was before. I think we have hit a tiny little milestone with at least stopping these ice holes from throwing pepper gas, because that was affecting schools nearby. It was like, parking lots of grocery store, like people were getting sick. Emergency rooms are getting overwhelmed, and they're like, stop, you can't do that. You can't do that for sport.
There was Moses Mike was on C-SPAN.
Oh, really?
Did you see that? He was on C-SPAN, and a woman got on who was the wife of a veteran who has two children who are medically fragile, and she was saying, if we lose our insurance, our child could die. I don't know what we're going to do. My husband has PTSD and la, 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 la. And he was looking, he does this thing when he's like, he does this. If you ever see him, he sits like this, right? He's like trying to hold it
Yeah.
in. And then he gets on and he says, I understand. I come from a place that has a lot of, people in the military. I understand what you're going through. Yeah, you fucking understand what these people are going through. My ass. And
No.
then he goes, it's because the Democrats. And I'm like, come on, guys, you're in charge
It's
of the
so old,
effing
right?
government. You have the judiciary, you have the executive, and you have the legislative branch. Why can't you get anything effing done?
I don't fall for that. I don't fall for that excuse anymore. And I think a lot of people don't fall for that excuse anymore. It's
Well,
so
we never,
old.
we
It's
honestly,
so
we never felt.
right. It's like, okay, come up with something a little original. Throw us something different, because that's not even something that's defensible. It's like, no, try again. Like, keep going. It's there. There aren't a lot of people that will believe that it's only one side that's causing all this chaos. It's obvious. Dick Durbin and Tammy Duckworth tried to go to the ICE facility twice, and they weren't let in. And Durbin said yesterday, he goes, there's something going on behind those doors that they're not letting us see. And I've never had this experience in the history of my, tenure. And he's an old man.
Right. He's been doing this for at least
He's an old man.
20 years, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's been around for a long time.
And Tammy's in a wheelchair. And they're like, nope, you can't come in. Oh, guess what, Christy? No, you can't piss here either. Girl.
So the thought and the thought is that the person who's running the country right now, who's really in charge,
Yes,
they think is Stephen Miller.
for sure. Yeah, he's calling the shots. He's exploiting his boss.
Yeah, of course they are. Of course, they don't really give a shit about him. They want to get their thing to just like vote. But once he's gone, those people are out. Those people. I don't know about Hexeth, but the other guys are out.
Sherry Williams, let's take a look at this. Because I didn't know about this. Abortion's not allowed nationwide, proposed by Republicans with 51 in favor. Would you please look into this?
Okay.
Yeah, I will, but I can't imagine that you can put a global hex on that.
Well, they want to have a ban, a federal ban for all states. Because if it's a federal,
they're not going to pay for them anymore, as if they ever did. That was all private pay. It isn't covered under anybody's insurance unless it's therapeutic and there was other surgery involved, that would be covered. But they just might pluck that out of your insurance. If something catastrophic happens, that might not be covered. I don't know, but
Well, most abortions now, unless it's too far along, are probably drug induced, right? It's not like the old days when you used to have to get a D&C, right?
yeah, you can go to right because there are early detection tests. Early detection tests, you can take the Plan B, which we've stockpiled, by the way. Just saying. And I'm not worried about it's like a nationwide ban. Is there going to be a nationwide abortion ban? I think it's another thing that they're trying to.
They can't seem to do anything. So, I mean, they would actually have to do something to get that going, and they don't seem to be. They're only interested in going on vacation.
And they're shut down right now. Who's making all these decisions? How is this happening? The government's shut down. All of a sudden we've got them doing this. There's a lot of things that I don't that are.
Well, the government is shut down, but they're getting paid. So they're working, I guess, if you could call it that.
I don't think they're essential workers.
But I do think they work anyway. Because the president is working, the judiciary is working, right? It's just the, like the soldiers aren't getting paid. The National Guardsmen who are being asked to go to different states don't get paid.
It's going to be private pay. That's not going to be taken away. It's going to be like state and possibly private pay, right? So what they're trying to do is, and I don't know if this has anything to do with RFK and Dr. Oz or any of the team that's supposed to be under the healthcare umbrella that would ban therapeutic abortions. Like none of that makes sense to me. You're just paying for it. It's not going to be covered under any insurance, anything like that.
So I got the death card, which is change.
Mm-hmm.
The Six of Cups, which is going back to the past. The Queen of Coins. This is the feminine. Got the Nine of Coins, another sort of powerful feminine image. And then the Seven of Wands. They may try, but women aren't going to allow it to happen. In fact, I think we're going to get perhaps our rights back at some point.
If they can make money from it, no, it's not going to happen. If they see how much money they can make from it, I think some of the services might not be offered anymore or they're private pay. But I got the house here, Four of Wands. And there's the pregnant gal. Okay, the Empress. This is an idea, right? The Ace of Swords. I'd say, oh no, they really have this proposition. They really want to do this. Three of Swords.
No.
And then Ace of Pentacles underneath. So, it would have to have some kind of contract, money thing. You pay for it yourself. It's not going to be covered, even if it's therapeutic under any insurance. That might be an issue. It ain't going to happen. I don't know what they're doing while this shutdown is going on. They're like firing people. We're not getting the news that we're ever, we should be getting or expecting to see. It's all about what people are watching, taking videotapes with their cameras. That's the news. That's the only thing I can believe.
I'm just looking to see what people are talking about here. Canada is furious. Yeah, I bet Canada is furious.
Oh, I bet they are. Right. Zendal says, will Trump have plenary powers like Stephen Miller says he will? That was like the weirdest decision paralysis I've ever seen. When it
I
went,
don't know. Well, let's see. Let's ask about the glitch in the Matrix of Stephen Miller. What was that
okay,
about?
yeah, okay,
Let's just ask about that glitch. What was the purpose of that?
I did a
Oh, you did a mental health spread
I
on
did
it.
a mental. I didn't want to spend time doing a chakra, but it just was just like decision paralysis, that paranoia, something glitched. What was the glitch?
I want to know what caused him to glitch, right? That's the same question, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's important. Does he drink?
Um, he doesn't strike me that he does.
Let me use a different deck. Because this
Why
is
are all the alcoholic cards coming up?
a chemical thing. Like a chemical glitch. Like maybe his meds, like
Oh, I see what you're saying.
that was a glitch. That is a thing you see in people that have some of the psychiatric meds that are mood stabilizers that can turn on this almost like, it would almost be classified as kind of a seizure.
Oh,
I mean, you
it
can
kind of seemed like a petite mole, didn't it?
like a myoclonic kind of seizure thing. Where is the other one that I had? Oh, here. Let me get this dog to shut up because honestly, I can't even stand looking at it. You see my shirt? You know what happens when they're bad dogs? What bad dogs happen?
They get eaten with mustard and ketchup.
You be a bad dog, and that's what happens. I send you to the Clark Street dogs.
I said to Michael today, I said, I miss Chiblets.
Such a jerk today. Oh.
So, what I think is, what I'm seeing is that I think he didn't mean to say that or something.
He slipped.
I think he slipped. Like he gave the it's like he was the guy in the movie theater that tells you how it ends before you see the movie. Like that's the plot.
And he can't recover from it because he doesn't know how. That was what was weird.
I think he gave away the theme of the whole thing. But it's not going to work. 5 of Pentacles. It's not going to work.
There is some kind of imbalance. Something, you see, we've got the two trying to balance. Something was imbalanced. In my head right now is pounding like right here. Okay. Something is imbalanced and he choked. There's like this is the 8 of Swords. He got caught up in his own
Loop.
Yeah. That's scary. Transformation, death. I got the death card. silence, nothing, chariot. Like he hightailed it out of there. And the elevator. This is an extra card in the deck. That's the elevator.
You sure it's not an escalator?
I wish it was a freaking hearse. Doors closing. And that is something you assign it to, right? So I always think of it as going up, elevator going up. So there's an escalation. So that it's just kind of shut. Most bizarre, but definitely some kind of cognitive glitchiness there. Wow.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like a petite mall.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He needs something regulator.
I wonder if he has a seizure disorder. Let me see. I'm going to pull some cards whether he has.
He certainly looks like he's experimented with electricity in the past. I don't know if it's with something he played with or some kind of Frankenstein moment he had, but I think he's been zapped.
I think Spirit zapped him, honestly.
Right?
I think Spirit did it to him. I mean, I don't know. When I watch him or I watch these other people yakking away, I usually just say, "Shut the f up." So, did anybody see the histrionics of Pam Bondi last week?
Yeah, again, trying to stall and spin, but just so poorly. It's hard to take her tone seriously. You know, if she had kind of more of a deeper tones in her voice that sounded more powerful, you can't even take her seriously. She doesn't even sound like a good drag queen.
You know, she used to do stuff for the Qataris. I think she was some sort of something with them. Why the Qataris, though? What is it about the Qataris?
I know they have planes.
I'm going to ask, what is it about the Qataris that they're so like, because he's totally wrapped up with those guys.
Let's find out.
I know she is.
There has to be something that person benefits from, right? And the only thing that either Donnie would benefit from is a land grab. And what Bondi would benefit from is like financial. Paula says Bondi has no interest in being taken seriously. She wants to block any truth getting out. Yeah, she is really, it's really piling up. She is getting, her stories are getting so horrible that it's like, how can she think people don't see right through that anymore? You can't make up more garbage.
Well, because she's really only working for one person. And I'm sure he loved everything she said.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, he got her. He got shifty shift. He got this. It's just coming. It's just like yelling at them and not answering them. But she's responsible for the answers, right? Can't she go to jail for that?
It's an oversight committee. So basically like, mortality wrap up of the month kind of thing. And I think that she treated it like it was a trial. And you know what I mean? Like she came in defensive when what she had to do was just simply answer like some yes or no stuff. And that was it. Like they weren't going to like escort her off to prison. She just needed to answer some questions. It's an oversight committee. That's what they do. And then they compile all the crap.
I feel like the Qataris are like a bank account for him. I know that the
That's
Saudi
interesting.
Arabia is like that, but I think he's afraid of the guy in Saudi Arabia. He's probably not that afraid of the Qataris because those were the people that he, in his first term, when what's his name asked for money and they wouldn't give it to him. I think he feels like they're like an easy shill or something.
It's a show for malaria. There's something going. I think that's also. I think she's part of the reason why the Epstein files have been so stonewalled. I mean, really bad. Another like you can't make up more stories. Like let's get this over with, pull this band-aid off, kind of thing. I think it's because she's in them. Not in
Well,
a good way. Not in a good way. What did you get for the Qatar thing?
I got the King of Swords,
Okay.
um, the Eight of Cups.
Yeah.
This was like this is a bit of an escape plan here.
Uh,
The sun, something is illuminated, and then the Ten of Wands. What's illuminated, I think, is the interconnections. The just like it's um it's like a shit show, really. And then the Nine of Wands. I think that there was probably something in the past that they agreed to, or with some sort of. I think it's just where he can get money from these guys. That's what I think.
yeah, it's just too much. It causes too much. I've got the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the Hanged One. This is where I think he's doing, and then the Hanged One, the Hanged Man. So if there was some kind of an agreement, and then the Star, like Josephine Baker there, if there was some kind of agreement, there was something that they wanted to do that it's kind of gets suspended, and there's no money cards here, so it might be just related to he's going to die.
Somebody asked if there's going to be more Epstein leaks this week. They did leak some of the information from when he was found dead.
Weren't the women supposed to testify? Is it this week? There were supposed to be more women testifying, I think, this week. Let's see. More WTF with the Epstein files. Are there going to be more files leaked? Leaked? Right now, we don't know. I mean, is the leak or released are two different things, right?
Well, yes, but they won't be released, but there can be leaks. That's, I would say.
Okay, we're looking for leaks or releases.
I think it was leaks. I think that was the question.
Leaks.
Kash Patel is freaky. Yeah, he is.
Oh God. He's so bad at what he's doing. He's so bad.
Well, these people, I mean, if there's any bright spot, it's that the people he's put in charge are morons.
And they must be laughing at him.
In order to really they're messing things up for sure, but to really mess things up, don't you have to be smart?
All right, what'd you get? I'll pull cards.
I got a yes. I got the Star, which is hope.
Mm-hmm.
The Two of Wands. So it's going to be a combination. I got the World. So to me, that's a yes. Then I got the Moon, lunacy, and then I got the Seven of Cups. And when I see this card, I think of Ivana. We might hear something about Ivana as well. That would be
I
interesting.
think, you know what, I have to say, if I was watching and you pulled the moon and the seven of cups together in any configuration in a spread, I'd be thinking, watch that news. Watch that news and who they're targeting, if that's true, because they're always trying to, put out the people. What they had, like Elon, they gave us like this little teaser thing with just a few people. It's just insulting, right? And they might do that kind of thing again, where it's like the people that you're like, yeah, we figured, Prince Andrew would be in there.
The princely prince, and Elon Musk is in there too.
Yeah, his name was mentioned, but under the context was, is he going to be there or not? It wasn't even if that he was there. It wasn't. A lot of this stuff, don't get too involved in it, because it's bullshit. It's bullshit. I got 3 of cups, so yeah, we're happy about something. This might be these women testifying, because I did hear that was occurring. Did the Cubs win? No way. They started at 7:00. Susan Clark said Cubs win. They started at 7. 6 of swords. So, so kind of like moving out of it, right? Remember, in the 6 of swords, there's always a couple of swords in the boat, right? There's some baggage, and they're floating away. And then the lovers. So choices about what is being, even the people leaking stuff are in fear for their life, I'm sure. So a choice is about that, for sure. Knight of Swords. And this guy is taking a picture off of beam of a high rise. So from really far away, you might get some kind of, but I wouldn't think that I would trust that news. Yeah, and then that says Cubs game starts at 8. It's not until later tonight that we have a Cubs game. I hope they win. Or not.
Well, for Chicago, you hope they win. For the neighborhood, maybe you're thinking it would be nice for it to be done.
between that and then the marathon and people from out of town, I don't know if there's enough alcohol in this area for these crowds here.
There's always enough, baby.
If it's really cool out in the morning, I do I'll bring make hot coffee and bring the whole pot downstairs, because there's people in this building that sit down there with coffee, or a lot of people sit out there with coffee. If it's chilly, I refresh their coffee.
I was thinking, like, just a bit ago, I thought to myself, what is in the Epstein files that he doesn't want to people to know? So I pulled cards on it.
Yes.
I got the 8 of Cups.
So
this is about abandonment. This is an abandonment energy. The 10 of Swords, utter downfall. The Tower.
Yeah.
The 2 of Wands. So it's not just, it's probably him and Melania. And then the Devil.
Yeah. I think that was a contract with the devil. I think that there were some things that it's not the acts that are going to be horrifying, but that there were probably people missing in an unalive way that is going to be the most horrifying. And they know about it.
Yeah. Where if they buried the bodies, right?
Yeah.
I want to know if he's actually shot somebody on Fifth Avenue.
I don't think he knows how to operate a gun.
Then I want to ask if he'll ever shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue.
If he's got the capacity, I think he would. He's telling other people to do it, is what he's doing.
Yeah, well,
right? He's directing other people. He's like, go fight. And he causes the mental anguish. He throws out crap in social media and makes people go out there thinking one thing is occurring and it's not.
Well, it's all lies. It's all lies.
And making people more and more angry. We're angry because we know he's lying, right?
And they're angry because of the lies he's telling.
Right. And then employs these people that are undertrained. I don't know where these people are coming from, but they did not have proper training on crowd control before they hit Broadview, Illinois.
Well, a lot of them are Proud Boys.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But not all of them.
Well, they could be ex-military. They could be ex-military, right? I don't know. All right, let's see. You know what? I turned the heat on in here. Now I'm baking. Give me a second. I gotta shut it off.
Yvonne said there were 3 Qatar diplomats were killed in a car crash. No, I didn't know that. I'm not following that story. I have enough to follow here before I see that a lot of what's going on in this administration is retaliatory violence, like mob style. And I'm from Chicago. We're used to that. I see mob style. I see it. I see the playbook. I did see something that said that the military was going to get paid, which is a relief because they are getting verbal shit bitten out of them right now. And at least if they know they're getting paid, there's some kind of relief in that because we're just yelling at them for no reason and saying shit to them.
But is the National Guard there in Chicago?
They're in Elwood. They're stationed there because they have a 2-week restraining order. Basically, they're on hold. They're on call. So no, they're not. We've just got ICE at Border Patrol, our police, and then the state police because they need backup. But the police aren't the ones, or state police aren't the ones that should be MF'd. But people are yelling at them.
People
not
are
knowing there's layers of difference there.
I know. 4,000 federal workers were just fired.
I wonder there's some shit going on in this shutdown that because it's shut down, we don't know what's going on, even more so. Even outside of the AI crap that they throw at us all the time.
There was an explosion in Tennessee at a munitions kind of or a company that makes explosives for them.
Yes.
Let's pull some cards on that. Let's see what that was about.
There are a lot. When I lived in Tennessee, in the mountains there, and I know Tennessee's a lot of caves, but there are a lot of roads that have signs that say explosives. Beware, like this is where they make them, or this is where they tow them, or whatever, in the hills of Tennessee.
Okay.
I knew that. And I guess there was a place that shit went down. I got too close to some gas. Also, a safety probably violation.
So I got the King of Pentacles.
Yep.
The Knight of Pentacles. The Seven of Wands. The Eight of Pentacles. And then the Page of Swords. So I think that in order to save money, they were maybe not doing the safety things, and I think that we're going to find out about it because this is the card of the whistleblower. So we're going to find. I think we're going to find out. I think people were maybe protesting about it. People who work there, or somebody was saying something about it, and they it was like completely destroyed. Like they still can't find people because they're in bits and pieces. That's
I got a secret. I think there was, yeah, it could be, there might be some insurance stuff that they might have problems with. But here, the Three of Wands, and I just see the guy sort of looking into that sort of section of the quarry there, or wherever they were, because it was in a cave, it had to be. Four of Swords. There was probably some supervisor or something that looks like maybe he was napping. There was some oversight that was overlooked, and then there was a fire. Jib. Queen of Swords and the Hierophant, so some legal stuff or protocols. There's your protocol card. Right? Some deviation from that. Then they have the High Priestess, some secret, something. There was something that went off. And then the Knight of Swords, or the Knight of Wands. So they'll find out. But yeah, there's a lot of places in the mountains in Tennessee that advertise that it's beware explosives, explosive facility, ammunition facilities, and there's chemical plants and body farms too, all in the same area. Something went off, but somebody was definitely asleep at the wheel.
Diane says RFK thinks babies come out of the placenta already circumcised and autistic.
They don't. If babies don't live in a placenta, they live in the amnio.
I know. I don't know exactly know. Well, it's RFK, right?
You know what? Oh, please don't try and pick apart his business. If you try and tease his crazy apart, you will lose it. He just talks right out of his ass.
Donald Trump said he's only going to close Democratic programs. What is a Democrat program? What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know who. Apparently, Pam. Who was it? Christy Nome said that they arrested the wife of the founder of Antifa. This is like the most bizarre. You can't write a bad soap opera using that text, that script.
Vincent keeps asking about the new moon in Libra.
Yes.
On Donnie's chart. So while I'm going to look at that, like I know it's time to go, but let me go to my astrology and just take a look and see if I see anything.
Yeah. We will wrap it up with a card and what the week ahead is going to bring. I'm definitely going to let you know what is going to be, what's going on every time there's something weird going on or celebratory. And wrap this week up next week with the protests, the organized protests. So I might do a thing where I have people's names on my protest board, my thing, if I carry one.
Okay.
Teresa said the Nobel Prize winner just dedicated the award to Trump. I don't think so.
I think that's what he said. I don't know if she said that.
Yeah, exactly, Shelley. It's not a group. That's exactly. We know this, but that was just like, that's what makes it so bizarre. Like she said that. So what was that? The Nobel Prize. It doesn't mean she's given it to him or anything. He might. That's just a pile of crap. You got some from shit source.
Okay, here we go. Okay. I'm looking, Vin. I'm looking. It's taking me a bit. All right.
Okay.
I don't see anything. The only thing that I see in his chart with this new moon, Jupiter is on his Venus. Saturn is squaring his Venus. Nope, it's trining his Venus. Never mind. Chiron is squaring his Venus and his Saturn. But I don't see anything specifically that would make me think that health-wise anything might happen to him particularly, I would say. We'll be looking at the new moon on Moon Shadows.
I gotta tell you something, and I'm reading this here about her, that she, and I don't believe a freaking word of it.
What is that?
Following the award announcement, Trump said that Mikado called him and told him she was accepting the prize in his honor because she believed he deserved it. His allies in administration had previously criticized the committee for not awarding him the prize. Bullshit.
Well, she is from Venezuela, and he is at war with fishermen in Venezuela right now. So she might just be trying to get in his good graces to stop him from doing that shit, because she does care about her people. She did win the fucking Peace Prize after all.
Yeah, I don't think that's. I can't believe she would do that after. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think he's dying. This is hard for me to wrap my head around because of all people, like his dying wish so he can die. And it's like, yeah, tell him you won the prize. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do say Rosemary's like, oh, that's bullshit. And that's how I would like to end this episode of Mystic Sisters. It's going to be an interesting week, you guys. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much. Stay safe.
Please.
Stay hydrated. Right? Document what you see, because the only thing that's real is what is in front of you. Truly.
Yeah.
All right. Love you, love you, love you.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight.
And we'll see you in the morning.